Hey sweeties, we're back today with another cake tutorial, but this time it's going to be pretty in pink, purple and orange, ready for the spooky season. If you love decorating cakes like I do and you want to learn some tips and tricks, this is the video for you. We're going to be making some cute little fondant decorations to go on our buttercream cake, and it's going to look very sparkly and very cute. So let's get into it. So I've already mixed up my vanilla buttercream and I've colored it in 3 colors, purple, orange and pink with our Color Mill food coloring. I'm gonna go ahead and I use the darkest color at the bottom always first, and I'm gonna go and pop the purple around the bottom of the cake. Now that my purple layer is on, I'm gonna go in with the transition color, which I'm gonna use orange. And finally, I'm gonna go in with the pink. So I'm just gonna put a big dollop on the top, just to make it easier to spread out. And then any excess that's come down, just work that on the sides. And now I'm gonna take my scraper and line that up on the edges of the cake and start turning. This is going to make a beautiful ombre buttercream look, and it's going to be super cute and ready for our fondant decorations. As you can see, these colours blend really easily and really seamlessly, but if you're doing this with other colours and they don't blend so well, you can just keep smoothing until you get a closer blend, or you can mix up the shades a little bit with your knife as well, and then smooth again and you'll get a really nice ombre. Okay, I've just popped the cake in the fridge, so while that's setting, I'm going to make our fondant decorations. So I've got my Bake House ready to roll fondant, which is my preferred fondant of choice. And I've got my pink and orange fondant that match the cake. First, I'm just going to knead the fondant just to make it nice and smooth again. And then I'm just going to roll it into a little sausage. And same with my orange. Just going to roll that up. I'm just going to stick them together by pushing them together. You don't need any water or edible glue at this stage. Just press them together, and then all we're going to do is twist them up. But then we're going to just smush it together a little bit and then twist again. And we just want to get a nice marble. It's just a fine balance between getting it mixed enough and not enough. So when you get it kind of swirled kind of that amount, that's when I usually stop, because it's going to swirl more as I roll it out. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of corn flour on my bench, a little bit on top, and start rolling. And as you can see, that gives us a beautiful marble pattern. And then I always flip over, because sometimes you have better marble on the underside. And you don't want this too thin, because we're going to have it as a topper. So I've got this really cute embosser here that says trick or treat, and I love it because it's got the little candy in the middle. This is from another small business called 3 Little Bugs, so I'm going to pop it in the description, so definitely check them out because they've got great quality stuff. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that onto my pattern. Now that I have my stamp on my fondant, I'm just going to take a cookie cutter. I've just chosen a hexagon, but you can choose any shape of your choice. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. Perfect. Now I'm just going to set that off to the side to dry while we make some little shapes for the cake too. So with the excess fondant, I'm going to go ahead with a mini ghost and just find an area you like and push really deeply into the pattern, and then you can pop it off and you can see you have a very cute little ghost. And then just use the cutter to cut that one out, and we're going to keep cutting a few different decorations out of the same fondant so we have them ready to decorate our cake. Now my cake's out of the fridge, I've just gone ahead and put some buttercream that matches in some piping bags. So I've got a bigger French tip here and then a little one. So I'm going to start by doing a rope border on the top with the orange, because that's our main colour. So all I want to do is hold the turntable steady and start squeezing. And then go around in little loops all the way around the top edge. If you need to stop just to reposition your hand, you can continue on where you were up to. And just try to keep them consistent and the same size so it looks nice and even. And then that is our first main rope border. Then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same with the pink, but a little one inside that. that just gives us a bit more color on our cake, which is super cute. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my fondant topper that we made earlier and pop that on the bottom edge against the cake. It doesn't have to be completely flat. I kind of like when it slits the edges up a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and add our pumpkins and our ghosts. So you can stick them up wherever you wish. I'm going to have some standing up and then some just on the edge of the cake. Now that I got my fondant decorations on, I can go ahead and put some sprinkles on too. So I'm just going to go in with a glove and just do a few pinches of sprinkles in some different spots. I'm just going to scatter a little bit of a band around the bottom edge of the cake. I also have some pink and white marshmallows here. I'm going to go pop these in the microwave and get them melted, and then we're going to make some pink spiderwebs. Just pop them in the microwave for 10 to 15 seconds, and as you can see, it's a natural pink color by mixing those two marshmallows together. So that's exactly what I was looking for. Just be really careful at this stage because they are super hot. So if you are a child, just make sure you have a parent at home, someone that can help you. And obviously, if you're an adult, you know what you're doing, but just be really careful you don't burn yourself on the hot marshmallows because they do contain a lot of sugar and they do burn very, very fast. So what I'm gonna do is I always have gloves on just to keep my hands protected. And I just go in and just pick up a stem of marshmallow. And it is very sticky, so just be careful. And then I'm just gonna use my fingers just to pull that marshmallow, and then you can go ahead and add it to the cake however you wish. So it is trial and error sometimes just to get it onto the cake because it is very sticky. It can take time, and sometimes it does pull wherever it wants. Okay, now that we've got some webbies on the cake, we're going to add a bit more detail. So I'm going to take the small pink piping tip with the French tip, and I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to use this just to cover anywhere that the spider web might have just knocked the buttercream. Because it was still soft, that does happen sometimes. And then just adding a little bit of piping detail as well, because you can't always get perfect spider webs, so it's good to have a piping tip handy just to add a bit more detail and cover up those mistakes. And of course sprinkles, they always help to cover up anywhere that might have got a bit smushed. And then I'm gonna just put in some sprinkles just on the sides of the cake as well. So you can just take your hand and throw them at the cake if it's still soft. Normally I would try let the cake set a little longer before putting the spider webs. And I definitely recommend doing that if you're at home. But otherwise you can add these in any colors. You can also color the marshmallows once you've melted them, and it looks amazing. So it is a cute idea, especially for Halloween. Just makes it look super spooky and just adds that special bit of detail. So you don't have to add the spider webs if you don't like to. I've just decided to try do it just to change it up and make it a little bit special and unique. But as you can see, you could have just stopped and kept it really simple and clean also. If your spider webs do knock off any of your buttercream or squash anything, that's totally fine. Just add a little bit of piping and some sprinkles to cover up that as well. Normally you'd let it set in the fridge for at least an hour and then you won't have any issues adding your spider webs. But as you can see here, this is an overloaded, sweet and spooky cake ready for Halloween. And I hope you get to recreate this at home because it is a lot of fun and looks super cute on your Halloween table this year. If you liked the video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and stay sweet.